We need to get an assistant. We need somebody that will stand back there and go, click.
Yeah, so that we don't have to worry about getting our job.
So that you don't have to like consistently get up.
Get Javi. Get an intern.
We
Said
should.
Javi?
Yeah. We should get an intern.
Oh, you right. No, he lives in the Bronx. He's not coming over there out here.
Well,
You don't know that.
regardless of who does it for us, we know that person will love to toot it up.
That's tough.
Toot it up. Right, Janelle? Yeah? Sure. Hold on.
You go in there. You got choked for tuning it up.
Tooting it up.
Live from Brooklyn, New York. Come on, whoa! You're listening to the Culture 316 podcast.
I would say do what it does. All right. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Culture 316. I'm one of your hosts, Jay the Creative.
I'm the other one. I'm tired. That's what I am.
I was waiting for you to say you're the cult of personality.
Yeah, but I am the legend, the Don.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine.
What was that?
I'm the legend, the Don, the icon, all that stuff, the cult of personality.
I knew that was coming.
Why are you pointing?
And
That's like people, like old dudes from the 90s do at their parties. Like my father. Like,
everything old is new again. Don't say like my father.
no, my
But-
father, like, if I show you a picture, every picture he's like,
Oh, no.
That's mad funny. We have some guests.
We have some guests from the Jobber Tears podcast, my bro.
Am I supposed to get close to you? Yeah. Sir Wilkins here. How are you guys? You know, we live. We live.
baby.
We here for the smoke. We here for the smoke. We here for the smoke. Yes. We're here to conquer the world, baby. JCP in the building. Talk to him, Dre.
yo. It's your boy, Big. Yo, I can't. You going? Yo, it's your boy, Big Baby.
Literally crying tears.
I am too, but we gotta get through this. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for having us. We've been talking about this for a long time.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
And
It was
like,
actually Dre that introduced us to the Jobber Tears podcast.
absolutely.
So.
And Dre's been a long time friend. Came up in CCC together, so
C3, shout out to Boots.
shout out to Boots.
It sounded like I did a bid together. Came with the CCC together. Shouts to Boots and Cell 521. You know, my man's for life, B.
It kind of was.
We don't know. We're not gonna get into this. Not on this podcast. Not on this podcast. Not on this podcast.
This entire thing is gonna be just one long beep.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a
Long
censor.
Well, if you've been with the show for quite some time, you already know who Dre is.
Very true. Because he was
I am
The winner of
Le
the first ever
Champion. the
the
real Le
iconic
Champion.
Invitational that we had like 2 years ago.
this man was a last minute entry, and he came in and he mollywopped everyone for no reason, and it was on the PS3, and he plays Xbox.
It was on PS4. He hacked it.
Yeah.
I didn't hack it.
He hacked it.
And I actually beat you.
No, he hacked it.
I beat you the first round. Got you out quick.
No.
Like-
That's not what happened. What happened was we were in the finals together.
We weren't in the finals.
We were in the finals.
I got you out second round.
I thought they were. I thought y'all were.
Oh no, we were in the finals.
See, look at him trying to downplay me. We were in the finals. I was this close. I don't remember who I was playing. I was playing as somebody who
You were Oscar, I was Charlotte.
was it Oscar.
Yes.
Yeah, you were.
Oscar, come on, sis.
You couldn't kick out. Natural selection. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's actually not what happened. Cause see, there was a bit of a lag.
How was a lag and we was on offline playing?
You're literally never gonna win this argument. I'm just gonna keep arguing.
I'm just trying to.
Anyway,
Okay.
what are we doing?
So, this is the Survivor Series special where we will be giving our Survivor Series predictions and analysis. And I think we're going to start with kind of a little bit of context and a little bit of background. So this year, what's making this Survivor Series ordeal so special is the fact that it is not just SmackDown versus Raw, but it is SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT. And I think that that is made for a very, very interesting build-up, and we have like a series of matches. But I want to know everybody's take on the build-up this year so far. So starting with Sir Wilkins over there.
This build-up was quality big dick energy across the board. So you're gonna start off first with Triple H. Put his dick on the table and said, "Yo, it's NXT's house."
On the table.
So we gotta let him see it.
So this, like I think we spoke about before the show and on pre-production. Yeah, we had a pre-production meeting.
Yeah.
Pre-pro.
I was late for that hit.
He was obviously late for that. Sipping on this gigantic Starbucks juice.
With this little straw.
Guava lemonade.
Guava lemonade, something bad bouge.
Pinky up.
Pinky up, guava lemonade.
Guava white lemonade.
So the crown jewel situation that we all know about with the them being stuck in Saudi Arabia, I don't know if it seemed like it was a blessing in disguise, because NXT tore the house down on that SmackDown Live right after Crown Jewel, and it was a quality build up. You had Bayley on NXT, you had what else we had? We had who else came down on NXT?
The OC.
The OC came down. That was really good. How they manhandled Undisputed Era. Yeah. But did you see Homeboy get spit come out of his mouth? Like no blood come out of his mouth?
Cool.
That looked like ketchup. It didn't look like blood.
But it was mad wild.
It looked like Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly got thrown into like one of the trailers.
Yeah,
and it looked like
he was bleeding.
It looked like he was bleeding, but it looked like it was more looked like ketchup because it just splat on the trailer.
Yeah, it splat on the wall, and
not a blood splat.
The build-up's been fun. The build-up's been fun, and I feel like NXT is gonna get destroyed because they've been looking real strong throughout most of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially Bianca Belair beating Dana Brooke's ass.
Yo.
Like she stole something.
Yo.
like week at how Carmella was just sitting there like this. Whatever. Carmella was just sitting there like this.
And then she got border tossed.
And then she got beat up too. But then I guess the point was Carmella got beat up already. So Carmella was supposed to be like knocked out.
Double defeated.
But she looked like she had a migraine.
That's mad funny.
She did look
looking like she literally sat there and was looking like she was looking for the help that comes from the Lord. She was just
like she was praying.
She was. That's exactly what she looked like. And it was just like I don't understand what's happening.
Carmella's like, Corey.
No.
Corey, no. Help me, Corey,
So
no.
I was gonna say you can go into it next as far as like your
I'm sorry, it's really early.
It's 11 o'clock.
11:43.
This is early for me.
What time do you get up on a Saturday?
On days where I don't have to work, I wake up like super late. And I was up until like 5 a.m. yesterday.
Why are you up till 5 a.m.?
I was doing a bunch of different things.
What were you doing at 5 a.m.? That sounds mad.
Well, I bought... Toot it up!
Not holy at all.
I bought Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and was playing it for like 12 hours straight. And then I also was watching matches for our episode that happened last week. The Eddie Guerrero episode. Yeah. So...
Still don't believe you. There's some shadiness going on.
No, I swear.
So yeah, just the Eddie Guerrero matches. That's the only thing.
That's literally all I was doing.
Right.
Anyway, do we want to start with the match card?
We can start with the match card. So, we're gonna start with the Women's Survivor Series elimination match.
We were talking about the build.
We were talking about the build, and then he was just like, "Yeah, just go into the card."
Matter of fact, yeah. Okay.
No, I'm gonna talk about the build now.
Okay.
But I feel like to kind of go off of what Wilkins was saying about this year's build, I think that the introduction of NXT into this kind of brand supremacy storyline has kind of made it the best Survivor Series build up since the brand split, for sure. I feel like even if NXT gets destroyed during Survivor Series, I feel like the fact that you had guys like Adam Cole come up and defeat guys like Daniel Bryan and been in matches with guys like Seth Rollins, like the rub that you get from that
exchange Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks had last night
was intense.
Sasha Banks is so good.
She is. Rhea Ripley is really good too, but Sasha Banks more so than Rhea Ripley. But I feel like NXT getting this rub And I feel like Survivor Series, the build-up in general, is more so meant to establish NXT to the casual WWE fans, that NXT is the third brand. And because of that, I think that even if they do get destroyed at Survivor Series, I think that it will position them as a brand better than pre-Survivor Series build-up. So, Trey, how do you feel about this build-up?
I've been speaking about this last year. I've always thought that NXT probably should have been the Survivor Series last year. They have the hottest brand going right now.
True.
Nothing against Raw and SmackDown, but when you're talking about brands right now, we're really talking about NXT. Yeah. And because it gives a different feel than Raw and SmackDown, so when you see them jump on Raw, beat up SmackDown people, beat up Raw people, it's like, oh, these are the outsiders.
Right.
I'm glad they're not making it like the when ECW jumped in and started beating everybody up before, like did their invasion, or when WCW did their invasion. They actually have their top guys trying to get the other two brands top people as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much the best part of the build right now, because you got actual, like, how can I say it? You're actually stars.
Yeah.
You're not using role players. You're not using just role players. You're using stars to get these people over. So it's working out. You're not making, at the beginning, you was making NXT look like a powerhouse. You had to calm them down a little bit by giving them some L's. So I think it's a really good build up.
Now, I was going to say, because we were also talking about this, and I don't think this is in the rundown either, but do you feel like the Survivor Series build has been tampering with the build-up for War Games, which is the same weekend as Survivor Series?
Yeah, they're about to use a lot of those guys from War Games, or in that War Games match. I'm assuming they're going to use a lot of them for the NXT Women's match and for the NXT Men's match.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people will be doing double duty that weekend, and I don't know if that's going to affect the quality of the matches.
Well, I mean, that gives them an excuse to be like, oh, NXT lost because a lot of them were participated in the War Games match last night. I mean,
I don't think nobody want to hear that, though.
Nobody's going to want to hear that.
Nobody's going to want to hear that.
We're all going to be sitting there just like, but at the same time, it's just like, that gives them an excuse, and it's a logical excuse, rather than it just happening out of thin air like most things do most weeks.
Yeah. What do you think, Wilkins?
The build-up's been trash dick energy.
For War Games.
For War Games.
Okay.
And one of the biggest reasons why is because they have all the eggs in that Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. All the eggs is in that one basket for Survivor Series. War Games is still going to be good. I don't want people to not think it's not going to be good, because those boys and girls down there are performers. But promotion-wise, really trying to push it, it's difficult because your main show has your top guys on it too as well. Yeah. So it's trash for the build-up, but I think it's still going to be a good show. And a lot of these guys are professionals.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll maneuver their way around the ring to still put on a good show.
Exactly.
A lot of times when it comes to wrestling, you don't have to take major bumps left and right for it to be a good match. And you don't have to break your nose, Mia Yim.
No, that's my sis. I love her.
No, it's not her fault. But I'm just like, you don't have to. I'm just calling her. I'm just saying, she broke her nose. Did she had like a nasal fracture or some shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
That shit was wild.
Yo, I think she did have a nasal fracture.
And
hopefully she's cleared.
Hopefully she's cleared. They probably they might just put a mask on her, like some LeBron shit. Remember when LeBron had that black mask on him?
Yo, Kyrie too.
Kyrie as well, yeah.
Rip Hamilton who
just kept it forever.
It's mine.
It just became his brand. That's all.
Oh, this became a basketball thing? I don't watch basketball. I don't watch sports.
Except for wrestling.
Is it wrestling?
Nah, but the build-up hasn't been great for War Games in general.
Stop doing that fucking point.
He keeps pointing like he's back in 1975.
I'm gonna show you a picture. Right, keep talking. I'm gonna show you a picture of my father.
But nah, it's been like a little shitty. But I also want to give Daniel Bryan his flowers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
I feel like he came in, let Adam Cole get that pin on him.
Yeah.
That says a lot about who he is and how he cares about the sport and the wrestling in general. It was just really dope of him doing that and putting on a phenomenal match. I sometimes think people who watch the mainstream wrestling forget how great Daniel Bryan is sometimes. Like, if you go through his career, the different transformations he's had, dude is like done everything with such quality. Even when stuff wasn't even that great.
Right.
Yeah, so we're looking at pictures of Dre's dad pointing for no apparent reason.
Because that's what he do. He points.
Yeah, but the build-up's been trash. Bye, Mom.
Have a blessed day.
So I'm just talking to people's moms.
But to kind of build off of that, I kind of agree with like the whole Daniel Bryan situation, because I feel like a lot of veterans in the position that Daniel Bryan was in would have been like, I'm gonna pin him, but we can shake hands afterwards. Like, no. But like
That's mad funny.
because that's literally like,
But Triple H Taz.
Triple H Taz. No, I but like he definitely kind of like by him allowing that to happen, it shows kind of like the content, like the quality of his character. You know what I mean? So shout out to Daniel Bryan.
Up.
The content, the quality of his character.
What's really cool also about the NXT invasion happening this year is 10 years ago in June was the Nexus invasion. So was it 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2009.
Roughly about
I think it was like 2009.
Was it 2009 or 2010? Okay, so 9 years ago.
We'll fact check.
Still.
I usually don't fact check. I usually just, because it's too much time. I just spend too much time.
So I need
We do need an intern.
We do.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to be in the market for an intern.
started from June 7, 2010 to August 22nd, 2011.
Okay, yeah. So it's cool because somebody had pointed this out on Facebook that Daniel Bryan was pretty much involved in that, invasion, and to now, almost 10 years later, see the fruits of what Nexus kind of built. Because really, if it wasn't for Game Show NXT or Nexus, we wouldn't have NXT as we know it for real. So, it's kind of cool. I thought that was really cool for him to put Adam Cole over as well. I didn't understand why they couldn't put him over Seth Rollins, but I think that's because Seth Rollins is turning, but we'll talk about that later.
You're not gonna talk about Seth's corny ass?
Oh my God.
Seth is mad corny.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh God.
as the top delegates of the Corny Black Man Club,
Yes.
I smell corny when I see him. I smell corny. And I like Seth. I think Seth is an amazing wrestler.
I think so, too.
he's solid as a heel. Not that great as a babyface because he's extra corny.
He's trash as a babyface. Let's not sugarcoat it.
No, I don't think he's trash.
He's trash.
I don't think he's trash.
He ain't lying.
I think he's just corny. Just excessively corny. And I think he needs to be a tweener, like some like Stone Cold type of thing.
Yeah.
And Rock. Like, tweeners work for certain people because they just don't have that baby face in them. Like, John Cena is the best baby face ever.
Yeah.
Because his corniness is also cool. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins' corniness is not cool.
It's just corny.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's borderline cornball. Like, there's corniness, and it's like, you level it up, it's cornball.
Yeah.
He's tight
level it
roping.
up.
He's tight roping on the border right
He's
now.
he's like on the borderline of cornball. And you are right, what you spoke about. I think he is turning heel.
Yeah.
Or they're doing something, because he's just angry at the world, because his Twitter rampage is be.
But that's the crazy thing that you say that his girlfriend, his fiance,
Yeah, his fiance now.
his fiance, Becky
Black.
Becky Black. But
Oh my God, her name was gonna be
Becky
no.
Black.
No,
Yes.
no.
Rebecca Lopez.
Rebecca. Okay, because I was about to say her name was gonna be Rebecca Black. Oh my God.
That'd have sucked. That would have sucked. But see, he should learn from, unfortunately, his girlfriend Becky. She's right now a tweener. She's kind of a tweener. Like, she's a baby face, but she does heel shit sometimes too.
My thing, I think it's just the fact that he's just not good at PR. And I said this a few weeks ago on the show. He's just not good at PR. Like, you have Roman Reigns, who was trained in that because Roman was pushed as the top guy for so long and rejected by the people, but he knows how to speak to the crowds. He knows how to say stuff on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think really it's because Seth was never in this position. And then when he was in like a top guy position, it was in like a smaller company, albeit, so you don't really have to work that well on your PR skills.
Right.
I just think, Becky's better at PR because, when Becky came in, it was the 4 horsewomen of NXT and then the whole Divas Revolution, and they started putting the women more, in the forefront and whatnot. So Becky had to learn how to do PR.
Right.
Seth, I just don't think he's good at PR. I don't think he's bad. I think Seth is a great wrestler. I just think he just doesn't know how to talk to people.
He just called Seth a nigga. He said Seth don't know how to talk to people. That's what you call somebody. That's a nigga right there. Got nigga tendencies. And I mean nigga in the non-black way ever, and nigga as a character trait. Because they are black niggas, they are white niggas.
They're all white niggas. That's a fact.
I'm just saying he doesn't know how to talk to people.
No, but I think that's a good point that you raised. But I also think Becky's been going hard on Twitter for a minute.
Yeah.
Where nobody was taking notice of what she was doing until because she spoke about it on her 24 where she was getting no push. Right. Like no push. And then she started working on Twitter, on her social media, and started pumping that out. And she also spoke about, because I like to watch the extra stuff of wrestling when they do random interviews. Right. So she was on Stone Cold's his TV show that wasn't that great, but I kind of liked it because it was Stone Cold. Yeah. What was it called? Broken Skull or something? Yeah.
No, it was Straight Up with Steve Austin.
And so she was on there. And she said that she writes a lot of her Twitter stuff down, how to she thinks through it. Huh?
I said I do too.
Yeah, that's why you're good at it. So
yeah, he's all right.
But that's why it goes back to what you're saying, where this Becky knows what to do because she's been constantly doing it for so long. And I also think Seth never had a downtime besides when he got injured.
Yeah.
He was always been the top guy. When he was in Shield, they were the top.
They were the top faction.
Top faction. They would mess with dealing with top guys and everything of that nature. And he never had that time where you kind of, when you get to bubble. And then while you're bubbling, you get to practice your craft. And then when you finally make it to the top, okay, now put the work in, everything you've been working on. Mm-hmm. Seth was just thrown in. He was NXT champ. He left NXT. He's the top fraction. Then he ends up turning. He's the first person to turn. Gets involved with Triple H. A top guy, gets injured. Gets a little injury, comes back, still the top guy. And he never had time to work on the little things. The same thing with Roman. The reason why Roman never people never liked him because his mic work was trash, and he lacked that extra oomph that gives you to be a superstar babyface, which very few people have. Right. But it's taking the time out, and when you're shot to the moon, sometimes
it doesn't work for everybody.
It doesn't work for everybody.
Definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
How did we get to Seth Rollins?
Because.
Did I bring up Seth Rollins?
You did. Of course you brought up Seth Rollins.
Of course I brought up Seth Rollins.
But before we get too sidetracked, let's get into the Survivor Series card. Mm-hmm. The first match on the card is the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. We have Team Raw versus Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. I don't know what the Team Raw members are at the moment.
I don't think we
can.
I'm about to look at.
Isn't it Drew on that?
No,
women's. Women's. I'm sorry.
I know we know most of the SmackDown
South Park
team.
episode where Macho Man.
No, that South Park episode was hilarious. Have y'all seen it?
Okay, I don't watch South Park.
You should.
I just never have time.
Macho Man basically identified himself as a woman and started competing in all the women competitions and beating everybody.
Yeah, it was so funny.
It was so funny.
They got so much heat for it though.
That was the episode that they were getting heat for.
Yeah, they get so much. I don't understand. And I'm not gonna go on a tangent on South Park. They get so much heat for little stuff. But
hold on. Second week in a row, you're on the podcast. You're definitely on the podcast for the second week in a row.
Hey, girl.
First of all, I just want to thank God because now, obviously, I'm the segment. Amen.
Shout out to Ebony. Who's Ebony though?
We have some guests on the show.
You got a picture of Ebony?
Who's Ebony?
Whoa.
It's a guest. It's a guest.
We have guests on the show.
Yo, relax, Mom.
I
Relax.
gotta remember this is the show.
These guests like to fight too.
What? No! What's wrong with you?
Championship right now.
You got a picture of Ebony, though?
Cheers too, okay?
You said I flip chairs too. No, not like this.
All right, we love you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna text you guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
You're the best.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Love you too.
Yes, she's officially a segment.
She is
Anyway,
officially a segment.
someone was talking.
I was trying to find the Raw Women's team, but Dre was talking.
Team Raw. Yeah. Oh yeah, but in terms of South Park, they always get shit about the littlest things, like the smallest things. But these guys had a whole movie about Satan and Saddam Hussein, and like having sex for the first quarter of the movie.
Did they?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Their very first movie. They had a thing about the Antichrist on Christmas. But
Wow.
yeah, good times. Good times.
But
yeah.
so Team Raw versus Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. I don't know. We got the South part, but just off of the face value, who do you think is going to take this match? Starting with Dre.
Well, do we have Team Raw yet already?
I don't think we do.
Well, at the time of this recording, we do not know who Team Raw is, but Team NXT should probably. Well, we don't even know who Team NXT is either.
Well, we kind of do.
I know it'd probably be led by.
They'll probably be the girls that were
Yeah.
wrestling on Friday.
Yeah.
Last Friday.
Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox,
Rhea
Rhea
Ripley and
Bianca Belair,
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim.
That's
I feel,
it.
I feel like Bianca's going to be on that team because remember it's 5.
Yeah, she might be. Yeah.
Oh, it's Nah, they don't even have the full team.
They don't have the team yet.
It's Raw versus Team SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
So far it's Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans. I'm sorry.
You're good.
God, talking to the mic. So
Talk to the mic.
Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, plus one to be decided versus Team NXT. But I think NXT doesn't it have Bianca Belair, what's her face?
Rhea Ripley.
Team
Kick It.
Shayna
Team
Baszler.
Kick.
Isn't Shayna not doing double duty, is she?
She won't do double duty on the same night.
Well, yeah,
Shayna has a triple threat.
Not on the same night. She has a triple threat.
The War Games.
So Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim.
Yeah, Mia Yim definitely. I don't know if she's gonna be able to wrestle. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You gotta love this sport. People say it's so fake, but people get hurt, man.
Yeah.
Real life hurt.
Real life hurt, and this isn't like anything crazy. So we don't know much.
It's not ballet.
But like you said, I think you said off face value who you think is gonna win.
Yeah.
NXT, man.
Yeah.
NXT, and it's good on both ways because you show the next generation of women that's coming up. Because let's be honest with each other, we're all getting older, and the 4 horsewomen are on the older side now. Does that make sense? Not
Yeah.
technically older, but they are. They've been around for a while now.
In the context of them being on the roster.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh, I was about to say, Sasha Banks is 27.
Yeah, but in the context of being on the roster,
you're right.
they've been here for a while. It's like, you know when people talk about like Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick,
Yeah.
they're relatively young. They're like when they're late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
But been in the rap game for a minute, where there's a next group of people coming up right behind them, and I think it goes back to what I said. If the next generation of women, they need to start promoting that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they kind of fell off with we're really pushing the women on the main roster. So let's make the next generation look strong.
Right.
They probably won't, but in my opinion, that's what they should do. Take care of Triple H's girls.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear what you.
For some odd reason, I kind of feel like they're going to give it to Raw again this year. As much as I would love for SmackDown to win because, the team captain should, get a Survivor Series win because she's lost at every Survivor Series since, she's come up.
She loses a lot.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Thanks.
We're gonna talk about her lack of title defenses too.
You need to talk to Vince about that.
Well, that's because she's we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, keep going.
You want to go first on that, or I want to go?
Anyway,
You can say because I'm right behind you on that.
like I said, I think Raw is gonna win. They're gonna put. I know for a fact they're probably gonna put Charlotte on the Raw team and Natty and whatever. The Raw team will probably be announced on Sunday.
Oh, the Kabuki Warriors.
The Kabuki
Oh,
Warriors?
yeah. Shut up.
The Kabuki.
Tooted up Warriors.
Tooted up Warriors?
Long story short, Team Raw, because these three are gonna drive me crazy.
So, to kind of go off of what Sir Wilkins was saying, I do believe that NXT can win and should win. And the reason why I say that is this. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at the fact that WWE does want to compete with AEW in a sense. And the one thing that separates NXT from Dynamite is their women's division. NXT's women's division is leaps and bounds ahead of Dynamite. I believe that if they want to solidify that, if they want to solidify that, I feel like a win over Raw and SmackDown with names like Sasha Banks, with names like Carmella and Dana, and all those women that will be involved. I feel like that would give them a huge rub, and because not everybody can be the champion on NXT, I feel like being a part of that team will give you a sense of credibility that you won't need a title for. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go NXT on this one.
As I was saying, I think SmackDown might take this one.
Nice.
Only because of, I think what I was saying, I give Sasha Banks a lot of shit, but for the most part, if you have out of the two horsewomen that's gonna be in this match, I think Sasha is a little bit the more polished one, and probably be able to lead her team a lot better, even though it's not the best cast of characters on her team. Right. I think she'd be able to lead them there. And we have to think about it this way. Who else does Raw have? Unless Raw pulls out like Nia Jax.
Ooh, delicious Nia Jax, baby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Keep going. Not the mwah, mwah, mwah.
I don't know if y'all saw on Twitter, they had a picture of Nia with this little curly bob, and it was like, "You want some more potato salad?" But I literally fell out last night. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. I'm looking at Raw's potential team, and they actually have a monster team. But then again, you have to know that Charlotte just made this turn heel just because that's what they do. Yeah. The Kabuki Warriors are heels.
The Kabuki Warriors.
They might
toot it up.
They might just blow mist in everybody's face and everything like that.
Y'all are very interesting. Okay, so
but yeah,
SmackDown, NXT, Raw.
Yeah,
nice.
All
right, what's the next match on the card?
So the next match on the card is the men's Survivor Series elimination match. On Team Raw, we have Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet. On Team SmackDown, we have Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Ali, Shorty G, and Braun Strowman. On Team NXT, we don't know who they have. But God, Shorty G, number one, is a horrible name. And number two, who do y'all have for the men's Survivor Series elimination match, starting with Dre?
Team Raw. Look, if you look at Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Mr. Corny himself.
No. Y'all gonna get us blocked on Twitter.
Corn it down. Kevin Owens, Mr. FNU from Canada. Hey. The GOAT, Randy Orton.
Look, he is a GOAT.
Drew McIntyre and Ricochet. Think about that team. That's the most balanced team they have.
That's very true.
The most balanced team that anybody is going to go against ever.
Right. I can definitely agree.
I think they should do the thing. And with Randy's track record at Survivor Series, you can't really bet against Randy Orton.
You can't. The man was a sole survivor.
A lot.
When it was a SmackDown versus Raw, 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was
He also won. I believe he also won the match for them in 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Randy's God, bro.
Yo, he is.
Randy doesn't get enough credit for how good he is because people think he's like a dick.
Randy don't care.
Right, but Randy don't care. But that doesn't equate to like what he does in the ring. Bro is really good in the ring.
Right.
And he needs to get credited for how good he is in the ring.
Well, when he feels
So
like
Team Raw.
When he feels like it. But I'm gonna go.
yeah,
I'm gonna side with Dre on this one as far as Raw winning the match. And I'm gonna take one step further. I feel like Drew McIntyre is going to be the sole survivor of this match. I feel like he's going to be the last person. I feel like he's going to be the last person standing. Listen. I feel like if we're looking at everybody on this team, I feel like Seth has gotten his list of accomplishments. KO, Randy, and even Ricochet got a title reign. I feel like Drew hasn't had that singles breakout moment, and I feel like him being the sole survivor gives him enough bragging rights to kind of push his career in the direction where he can be noticed as a top singles guy. So I do believe that Raw is going to win, and I do believe that Drew McIntyre will be the sole survivor.
Well, this Drew McIntyre doesn't have any titles. Skinny Drew McIntyre has the Intercontinental title, right?
True. Drew Galloway. I'm going to call him Drew Galloway.
Galloway.
Because this is McIntyre with the muscles.
Skinny, well, whatever. Skinny Drew won the IC title like 800 years ago, whenever he was signed to WWE. Long story short, Raw is not winning this.
Who's winning it?
I think NXT is winning this one.
Why?
Because I feel like throwing out hot takes this morning. I feel like being a hot take Nick.
So you thought
Angelo.
Angie, see, you just gave up your whole gimmick.
They knew my name. They know my name.
That's not my name.
So you just throwing out non-true statements. Just
I'm
because-
joking. Yeah, no, NXT is not winning that.
Yeah,
No, I agree. I think Raw's gonna win. Drew McIntyre is not gonna be the sole survivor though. He's the only heel in this match. He has beef with Ricochet. He has beef with Randy. Does he? Did I watch Raw? I did not watch Raw. So I know Randy
Randy's a
turned
face.
face like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So whatever. I think he has beef with everybody on the team, which can lead to Drew pulling all right, goodbye. I feel like King Corbin's probably going to do the same thing on SmackDown as well. That's why I felt like NXT might end up taking it. I'm going to go with NXT. I'm going to go with my first thing. NXT.
Yeah, motherfuckers are all wrong. The person who's taking it is Ricochet. He's gonna be the sole survivor.
Mr. Tooted Up himself.
Mr.
Tune it up.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
love tuning it up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, nasty. You finally got it?
Oh my gosh.
Went over your head.
Right.
You mean Rico Nasty. That's his name. Rico Nasty.
Listen, I'm all for people being sexually open.
Yeah. Just don't do it on camera.
Yeah. That's just a little weird.
Booty Warriors.
Listen,
He is the Kabuti Warrior.
He is the original Kabuti Warrior.
he was tuning it up online. So going back to the match.
I was just about to say he wasn't the only one, but we're not getting into
We're not getting into this conversation.
No.
because there's another video that released.
Nope.
The one that
Keep it at
The one
Survivor
that
Series.
makes-
No. Keep it
Listen.
at Survivor Series.
I'm just gonna say I didn't watch it because it's like not my thing. But come on, Austin Theory. Come on, Austin Theory.
Wait, Austin Theory was doing the same thing?
That's your man.
Yes, Austin Theory.
No.
a sex tape. Not a sex
No,
tape.
we're not talking about this.
Like
Keep this at
the same
Survivor
thing.
Series.
it's like something like that. I didn't watch it. Like I don't know.
Wait. Talk about what?
Yes, it's a real thing.
That's my man's though, man.
Y'all going to hell.
I don't know. But two, Ricochet has been constantly been pushed lately, and I feel they're really trying to make him that guy. Especially he's the Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah.
Few people know about that. So I really gonna think it's gonna be Team Raw and then Ricochet being the last person. I could be completely wrong. This is random. This is a random hot take. 'Cause nobody thinking about Ricochet's ass.
What about-
except for Ricochet on camera.
I think him and Randy are going to be the sole survivors.
That's him RKO'ing the shit out of Randy. At Ricochet.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
At the end, for sure.
I know what you're gonna call it. All right. So we have. Who did I picked Raw. You picked Raw.
Yeah.
You picked NXT.
I picked NXT.
And you picked Raw. So 3 Raw, 1 NXT. So the next,
Wait, who's on Team NXT though?
we don't know.
I just felt like saying NXT.
But we're gonna find out, and I find that element actually very, very surprising that we don't know who's gonna be on Team Raw. I mean Team NXT.
Yeah.
But the next is the men's tag team champions. We have the Viking Raiders versus the New Day versus the Undisputed Era. Wow.
I'm really mad that the Revival lost this, because the Revival versus UE versus the Viking Raiders would have been match of the year, and that's all I have to say about
Shit,
that.
that's what happens when you be trolling online. Y'all be playing too damn much, and then y'all lose your dream match. Dumbass.
Ooh.
The Revival.
They're going to AEW. It don't matter.
That's mad funny.
They're going to AEW.
They're going to AEW, and they're going to rename
what?
themselves to Renaissance.
They're leaving next summer. The Revival.
But anyway,
They're gonna get lost in the shuffle if they go to AEW.
that's very true, because
People need to. Oof.
I think people need to stop saying people are going to AEW in general. Like, they don't have a full roster of people already.
that's very true.
Chris did say they're not signing nobody else.
Yeah. I think they would sign the Revival, but they would have to get rid of another tag team.
And whatever y'all do, y'all better not get rid of Private Party, and y'all better not get rid of Proud and Powerful. All right?
Well, no, those are the top 5 teams.
Yeah, one of the top 5 teams, but still. Anyway, men's tag team championships. Who y'all think is gonna take it?
Who should take it is New Day. You give these motherfuckers the title, like a week before, a week and a half before Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The whole world's complaining that they shouldn't have had the titles. And this is my opinion on the New Day winning. Money-wise, it makes sense.
Right.
Let's all be honest. They're a cash cow.
Yeah, very true.
And Kofi just lost the title recently, and they need to put him in a program. They need something for him to do. Like, he was your top guy at one point. Big E is Big E, but New Day in general is a moneymaker, and it adds that element of this is my philosophy. Kids love them. So now they're in that title picture, and they're on Survivor Series. Hey, Mom, can you please buy this pay-per-view? Hey, Mom, I want to watch this pay-per-view. Hey, Mom, oh my God, New Day's here. Okay, when they go to Survivor Series for the actual show, Kid's going to be there. New Day's going to be on the card. Let's buy some New Day merch. Revival is great. Like, for wrestling fans, adult wrestling fans, it makes more sense for Revival to be in that match because it's going to be super fucking hard hitting.
Right.
And it's going to be that type of match that we want to see. But in my opinion, money-wise, New Day's supposed to be on that. And I think having New Day win makes more sense of, like, you just give them the title. You might as well have them win.
Right. Mm-hmm.
People are going to be pissed. So if people end up being pissed, you can work New Day a different type of way now. Like, oh, shit, people are mad at this. Maybe we should turn them heel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Big E and Kofi were really good heels.
Well,
under the New Day.
They were doing some pretty interesting things with Kofi. I believe at Sweet Saudi Money 4.
Sweet Saudi.
They had Kofi get beat up by one of the teams in the that tag team turmoil match or whatever. I know they had the thing where Kofi was kind of like subtly crushing the pancake. I have the power of positivity, whatever he said after he lost the title during that segment on SmackDown a few weeks ago. So I know they were doing something with Kofi, with him dealing with the loss that he had to Brock. This kind of derails that little story that they were doing. So it's just like, ugh. I would love for Undisputed Era to win, but they attacked the Revival. So I don't think that that's actually going to happen. I think they attacked the teams on, that was this Friday. So technically this was 2 weeks ago, last Friday. Mm-hmm. And they had them attack them. So at this point, it's just like, I don't think that the New Day I don't think that Undisputed Era is going to win. I don't think the Viking Raiders are going to win either. So I think I have to agree and go with the New Day winning. Yeah.
First off, I do agree that the New Day is going to win, but I am very, very interested in seeing an Undisputed Era Viking Raiders sequence, or just like them just going at it, because I feel like as far as tag team wrestling is concerned, those are two of like my favorite tag teams in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I just feel like them being able to showcase what they're all about is going to be one of the strongest points of this show, period. But yeah, considering that the New Day just got the titles, considering that they want to keep Kofi kind of like in this main picture, considering that the New Day is money, I can see the New Day winning and pinning the Viking Raiders. I feel like they want to keep Undisputed Era pretty strong, so I think that they're not going to eat the pin. So, New Day.
I think the Viking Raiders are going to win.
Interesting.
Why?
Here's why. It doesn't make sense for your tag team champions. You let a Raw team win the best tag team in the world, right? But in order for them to win, they had to beat your tag team champions. So I don't see any other reason why the most dominant team inside that match shouldn't win. I'm not saying they're supposed to run through New Day and run through the Undisputed Era, but when we're talking tag teams and we're talking, the Viking Raiders, like, take WWE out, these guys are one of the best tag teams in the world.
Very true.
Like, if we take out whatever they've done in WWE NXT, these guys, as War Machine, one of the best tag teams ever.
Yeah.
So I think they have to rub for me. Excuse me. The thing with New Day is, I think we were talking about this in our chat. New Day, I think the better tag team, like if you're looking at tag team wrestling, might be Woods and Big E.
Yeah.
Because Woods eats most of the offense.
Right.
Wood and E comes in for the comeback.
Right.
Kofi is a great tag team wrestler as well, but at the same time, I don't see them be at the level as Undisputed Era or Viking Raiders. I don't see it. I don't care. I had this argument with somebody in the Jobber Tears group. I don't care how many times you win the title. There's people who didn't win the world title as wrestlers and were better than most people.
That world title.
Yeah, that whole world titles. Like if we're gonna go based off that argument, then that's like saying Triple H is better than Mr. Perfect. Huh? No, it's not the same. So agree to disagree with that one. I just threw out a name like that.
Well, that concludes the men's tag team champions.
I was about to say.
Portion. But I'm very much looking forward to that match. And another match that I'm looking forward to is the match of the mid-card champions. AJ Styles, the United States champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental champion, versus Roderick Strong, the North American champion.
The king of strong styles. Get it?
The king of phenomenal strong.
That was some Seth Rollins type of corny shit that you just said.
Don't say get it.
That was a really bad joke,
Yeah.
but it's been all over Twitter. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to say it.
I think that this is a dream match. But I want to know who y'all feel is going to win, starting with Sir Wilkins over there.
Every indie-loving wrestling fan is jacking off to the mere aspect of this match
He choked.
because they're jacking off like so hard right now, like
So hard.
the pure excitement for this match,
Blowing their load all over.
blowing their load all over the fucking screen when they see this match. To go into this match, the match is gonna be great
Yeah.
if they let them go off.
Yeah.
Hunter's probably going
And
to
if Shinsuke's not on cruise control, because Shinsuke's been on cruise control for a long time.
Very true.
So
Since Mania. When he lost at Mania.
nah, he's been on cruise control since like a year after when he got on the main roster. He's been on cruise control for a minute.
That's a fact.
He's been on like, yo, I got this check. I'm living a good life. My family's happy.
Right.
Let me just chill. And they don't ask much from him anyways.
Yeah.
He don't gotta learn English.
You got Sami Zayn.
He got Sami Zayn with him. He's just chilling. And I respect it because he put his work in.
Yeah.
There's some guys who, if they go on cruise control, I'm like, you know what? Your cruise control is better than some people at their best.
Full speed, yeah.
So I ain't even really mad at Papa Shinsuke Nakamura. But I think this match is going to be one of the best matches on the card. Would it be match of the night? It could be. It has the potential to be. I think AJ Styles win because AJ is WWE darling.
Yo.
They protect that motherfucker a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because Janelle talks about it all the time, my co-host of the Job and Tears podcast, how, what is it, 5 years ago, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, you would never think AJ Styles would be on a WWE roster.
Exactly.
So they have him on the roster. He won the title on a house show.
The U.S. title.
The U.S. title.
Like, it was a garden show.
Yeah, that's insane. Mm-hmm. When is the last time they did that? Change titles at a house show.
Right.
What are we, 1997? Like fucking Kevin Nash is out here. No, I'm sorry. Diesel is out here winning the world title on a house show.
From Bob Backlund.
At a Royal Rumble match. He won his first world title 9 months into his run, his start in WWE. Like, that's crazy.
I think he wins the match because he is WWE's darling, and he's WWE's way of saying, "Hey, we fuck with the indies." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not indies. I guess I need to figure another word. We fuck with other internet darlings. We fuck with the internet darlings.
Right.
Because AJ is an internet darling.
Darling, yeah.
But so are all the people in this match.
That's what I'm saying. But I think he's one of the ones like, we fuck with you more.
Yeah.
We fuck with you more.
Because the kids fuck with him.
Huh?
Because the kids fuck with
Very
AJ
true.
Styles.
Yeah. And
See a whole bunch of kids like this in the crowd.
he sells.
Yeah.
He does sell.
At the end of the day, like I said before, the New Day and shit, like, it's about the bottom line. It's not that dollar.
True.
It's a fact.
Shout out to Ken Broadway and his amazing theme song. Ken Broadway, you can find him at Hawk shows. It ain't about dollars. It make no sense. I think something like that, right?
I stand Ken Broadway.
Yes.
I have to meet Ken Broadway when I go back to training.
Well, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but while we're talking about Ken, rest in peace, Matt Travis.
Yeah.
Shout out to Murder by Cakes. Keep going.
Anyway, what was the match? That was
The mid card, the internet darling.
mid card.
match.
Okay, yes. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know. Like, I don't really have an answer for this match yet.
You should be honest.
Referee stoppage.
I don't. Like, this is a match that is just like anybody could win it. Like, I'm automatically taking NXT out of the equation for some of these matches because it's just like, yeah, it's not happening. But, we got AJ versus Shinsuke for almost half a year last year.
Underwhelming.
Most of the matches were misses. The only match that was a hit, I think, was their Falls Count Anywhere match. But most of their matches were misses. That WrestleMania match, we were there. I was just like, that's it. I was waiting for it. Whatever. With that being said, though, I do agree that AJ Styles is probably like the guy that could win this match.
Yeah.
But if they're going to have NXT win any matches, I think it's going to be this one and the women's match. I don't think Shayna's winning, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But I do think that Roderick Strong is going to win this match.
One more thing. This match, on a visual standpoint, looks the best.
Very true.
If you look at, besides the women's matches, like, NXT is a bunch of regular sized dudes.
True.
And if you look at the matches, you're like, yo, it's a bunch of giants versus midgets. But this match, because when Shinsuke is a regular sized brother, I think he's tall.
Yeah.
He's on the taller side, but like mass wise, he's not that big. AJ's regular size, muscular, of course.
5'10".
Yeah, and then Roderick is about probably the same size as
AJ.
AJ. Yeah. So it looks great.
Yeah.
So the possibilities will even be better for the match in general. Because if you looked at what if Adam Cole versus The Fiend? In the case that match would have happened, The Fiend, Adam Cole, and Brock Lesnar. Like, what?
Adam just would have just sitting outside the ring, just like, y'all can go at it.
Oh my God, there was this
meme
with the
SpongeBob
SpongeBob characters. I was on the train, literally in tears. Like, and people were looking at me like I was crazy. But it was the funniest thing ever. Like, you really had him like this skinny dude in between these two big dudes. I'm like, Adam Cole. That was funny. I thought that was jokes.
I think you're 100% right about in that aspect. it looks amazing. Did I cut it off?
No, you're good. You
You sure? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm sure. You
All right.
good.
It looks amazing with everybody being the same size and just the ability of those. They just have to let them go. You have to let them go. Don't like.
He's not on double duty, Adam. Is he on double duty?
So far, no, but I feel like they might have him
in the
defend his
men's
title.
He might be in the men's Survivor Series match.
The elimination one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they might have him defend his title against Seth because that match ended in a DQ.
That would be dope.
At War Games?
No, at
Survivor Series.
At Survivor Series.
No, but
I
Seth.
really want that match.
Seth. That means Seth was gonna lose his spot to Andrade.
I can see that happening.
Andrade.
Ugh. The Raw team is gonna.
That's the king of Tooted
That
Up.
would make the wow.
That's
That-
the Tooted Up king. My boy, we with Charlotte, tuning up everywhere. That's how it started, by
Please
the way.
don't block us.
That's how it all started.
So I'm gonna say my opinion. Zelina, I know you're married. Alistair Black, I respect you. Alistair, your wife is absolutely stunning. I have the utmost respect for you, but your wife is absolutely stunning in the most respectful manner I can possibly say this.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get spin kicked.
I don't want to get spin kicked at all. And speaking of Andrade, smashing up that blonde queen,
Tooted up!
Charlotte.
Tooted up!
The mere fact she be putting her post captions in Spanish, you know the pipe is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of who's winning that mid card match, I think Roderick Strong is gonna escape with the win.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna something's gonna happen. AJ's gonna hit the phenomenal form or Shinsuke. Roderick Strong gonna run in with that little stupid ass knee he did to Keith Lee the other week.
Oh my God.
And then pin him.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
That's how I see it. I see him
Roddy.
stealing a win.
Right.
But in terms of this, my opinion on I'll get to that when we get to the end. To talk about our opinion on the pay per view in general.
Okay.
But yes, Roddy should win this one.
Yeah. Let me make sure this is. Yeah, as far as this is, I feel like number one, this is going to be a bang of a match. Number two, I do feel like AJ Styles is going to win. But to kind of go off of what Wilkins was saying, this is probably the most balanced matchup on the card. And it should be a fantastic match. I feel like if AJ wins, though, they do need to put Roddy over, like in a major way. And I feel like they can do that because of just like how versatile Roddy is, just like with all of his backbreakers and things like that. So I'm gonna go AJ Styles for the win for this match.
Nice. All right. So AJ, Roddy. I like
I
that.
feel like we're on NFL today.
Yeah.
I feel like we need like a little like graphic on it, a picture of like AJ under you, a picture of AJ, that little kind of thing.
Just like
He
beings.
doesn't watch sports. I'm sorry. I keep like throwing these sports things.
Yeah, I'm just like,
That was
I
dope.
don't watch
That is
sports.
dope.
That is dope.
I should do that for my.
Well, listen, I need to get my stars first. My icon, Don, legend, and thing. I need my stars first before we do anything. So
He wants, like,
so
titles.
like when I say I'm the icon, the Don, the legend, the cult of personality. The only thing that pops up under my name is Angelo Carter. I'm just like, no. I said I'm the icon. That should pop up, and then the Don. That should pop up, and then the legend. That should pop. It should pop up like fade in,
Why
fade
aren't
out.
you and Tati best friends? So, people who don't know this, Tatiana Taylor is part of the Jabba Tears Network on her show Cats and Dogs. But she's very similar to Angelo. Like, it's borderline, like, disgusting how their personalities are so similar.
Too similar.
Like, he's talking and I'm just like, yo, you guys should just be best friends and hang out all the time.
Yeah, you guys should do bougie shit together.
Like, go to brunch and then, like, don't take stairs, only take escalators.
Right. Get out of
stairs?
and get out of luxury cars.
Let me explain something to you, okay?
Your
I do
Uber
enough
Diamond.
cardio. I do enough cardio during the day. When I go back to Hog in January, I'm going to be doing more cardio. Why would I want to injure myself further by taking the steps at Broadway
This your
Junction
man?
when I can just
This your
get on the escalator? Now, I have to take the steps at the train station by my house.
Oh my God.
Oh man. man.
But like, they need an elevator. Like, I'm literally like from the bottom, from the
What
depths
is the
of
train
hell.
station you buy?
Utica Avenue on the A.
They do have a.
But that's on the
elevator.
opposite side. I don't live on that side. I live on the side by a Lewis Avenue.
God, Jesus Christ.
This is your man's B.
That-
This is your man's B.
Wait, that's the side the elevator's on.
No, the side the elevator's on is over by Malcolm X.
Oh, they changed it because there was an elevator.
Yeah,
on that side.
I'm not walking to Malcolm X to then walk 2 blocks back down to where the other train station entrance is so I could just walk home. That doesn't make any sense.
You know what we are going to be walking to? A conversation about the women's championships. The women's champions that will be in a triple threat match to defend the honor of said brand. So we have Becky Lynch representing Raw. We have Bayley representing SmackDown, and we have Shayna Baszler representing NXT. Who do you think is going to win and why?
I think this is a pretty easy answer.
Who?
Becky Lynch.
Becky?
She didn't get her moment at Survivor Series last year.
Very true.
She got taken out of the Survivor Series match, and they put Charlotte in her place. I love Bayley to death. Bayley's in this match to take the fall.
Now I'm talking about my girl like that.
Listen, let me explain something to you, okay? I love Bayley.
Sharon?
Pamela.
Pamela Martinez is everything.
Delicious.
She
But-
really look like a Martinez now, though.
That's mad funny.
Like OD. She look like a Martinez.
You know what? Because she did it before.
But
she
now?
did it with the long hair, but she does. You're right. I think Becky wins this match. Shayna lives to fight another day, and Bayley goes on a rampage on SmackDown. That's my prediction.
You guys got it wrong, man. It's Bayley, baby. Bayley's on a run, on a tear. She's avenging herself from being that borderline loser that she was for so long. She needs her moment. Becky Lynch has already had her moment. To be honest, let's really think about it. Over the past year, since last year's Survivor Series, she's had her moment. You do have a great point. If I would pick somebody second to win, it would be Becky because of what you said. She got replaced, but that punch in the face from my girl, Nia Jax. Big Mama, I see you.
launched.
Can't wait for you to get back.
You was in
Launch.
Nia Jax's inbox too, and she replies.
Yeah, Nia, keep talking to us. The Jabatiz loves you. But Bayley needs this a whole lot more than everybody else there. Is she did the heel turn, she's constantly doing her thing, first she's doing her cerebral assassin type of move, she's at the announcers table watching the matches. What's gonna happen next? She comes on NXT, hits that chick in the back. Shayna Baszler. I love Shayna Baszler though. I think Shayna Baszler is one of the greatest female wrestlers I've ever seen on the main roster type of thing, on that stage in a long time. A very long time. But Bayley needs this more than anybody else to solidify herself as a strong champion.
Very true.
Because Becky has had title defenses. She's had people tap out. She's done everything else, but Bayley needs this. And Shayna, like you said, Shayna loses. She goes home.
Yeah.
It doesn't blemish her card because this is I think Survivor Series is more like that unsanctioned type of matches. It doesn't go against your card. I'm your record. I'm talking AEW stuff or WWE match. Whew, amazing how the world has changed. But yeah, I just think it's more Bayley for this one for me.
My ginger ale. It's not open.
I see Shayna running out of this one. I think Shayna has been. We talk about Becky being on a rampage. Shayna has been on 10 times more than a damn rampage.
That's a fact.
I think she's tapped almost every NXT women's superstar out on the roster.
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, almost all of them.
And the way she debuted on the main roster with the attack on Bayley and then the attack on Becky as well, she looks the strongest out of all of them. I see it. If this was be the match, if the last two matches, if those are the two that, the NXT superstars win, those are supposed to be the matches. The women's match and the mid-card match. So I see Shayna Baszler dominating that match and taking it home for NXT.
Here's what I will say. First of all, we have Shayna, we have Becky, and we have Bayley. First off, I think it's very, very important to note, and this is a hot take, I feel like Shayna Baszler is the most dominant woman that NXT has ever had since Asuka.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
That's not a hot take. That's factual.
Snapple facts.
But I also feel like in this particular case, I feel like Shayna had, two very strong moments against her opponents. Having a face-to-face with Becky Lynch
Oh, that was awesome.
was beautiful.
I almost burnt my food that I was cooking that day because I wanted to watch that. I don't even remember. It was something in the. I think I was frying something.
Why this man said, "What are you
I literally
cooking?"
was like, "Oh shoot, I'm burning it." It was fine. Like it wasn't burnt. Like it was like just more brown. But
But I feel like that segment was a huge rub. I felt like I feel like Shayna attacking Bayley, Sasha, and other SmackDown women was a strong segment for her as well. But I do feel like, to kind of go off of Wilkins was saying, is that Bayley needs this more than any of the two competitors, because Shayna on her own already looks strong. Becky has had her moments and she looks strong. And there are ways for Becky to lose the match without taking the pin or tapping out. So she can still look strong even if she loses the match. But I feel like in order for WWE to solidify Bayley as a formidable champion and as a force to be reckoned with, then she has to win this match. So that's my opinion on that. Moving on, though, from the women's title picture, or not the women's title picture, but the women's champion triple threat, to the Blue Universal Championship, where the Fiend Bray Wyatt will defend against Daniel Bryan.
Cuz championship.
The Cuz. Oh my God. Correct. The Davies Championship.
the Snoop Dogg champion.
The Snoop Dogg title. Rest in peace, Nip. That's actually fire. But
WWE, y'all did that for Nipsey? That's respect.
the marathon continues. They don't know.
They don't know who Nipsey is.
They're like, what is that? This is probably like,
Is that a new women's superstar?
No. But I definitely want to know who y'all are going to go for. But in my opinion, I feel like the Fiend will defend and retain successfully. I also feel like the built-in story of the Fiend Doesn't Forget is pretty dope, because the fact that he's feuding with people that have kind of like dealt with his old character is kind of fire. Yeah. So I feel like not only is this a pretty good story, even though there could have been more of a build-up, I feel like he will successfully defend his title against Daniel Bryan.
Well, I think there wasn't more of a build, because 2 weeks ago, Daniel Bryan was probably penciled in to fight Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, I think that's still happening, but I don't know if I don't think they knew what they were going to do with Daniel Bryan yet until that segment where they had the Fiend just attack Daniel Bryan. So I think it's pretty obvious that the Fiend is going to win. You don't want the people to turn on Daniel Bryan. Even though I don't think that they would in this situation. I think the people are just tired of, Seth Rollins in that aspect. But you do not want people to turn on the Fiend, especially since he's the hottest thing in wrestling right now. So, I don't know.
I get you.
Well, hottest thing in WWE. Let me say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Not in wrestling, in WWE.
I'm back, guys, on the mic. All right. So, The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. Great match. It's going to be good. The Fiend wins, obviously, because he has to stay strong. Now, that's where WWE fucked up. And I'm going to tell you where they fucked up. The build was trash. They don't have much time because they had to make up for Hell in a Cell. They had to throw the belt on him and Crown Jewel. Then they kind of had to like rush to figure out what. Then they had the NXT invasion, and so they couldn't really focus on that. As we know, the NXT's takeover hasn't been the best. War Games hasn't been the best build-up. There's so much potential that they could do the next, I don't know, like online or in a couple coming weeks. I've always said this. The Fiend is like the Joker of WWE. If anybody's into comics, you'll understand where I'm getting at. Where there's him in face value, then there's that psychological shit that can be done on a grander stage. They kind of did it when he feuded with Seth, but they dropped the ball because they didn't go into more depth on it. I don't know who's writing this, but I don't know who's listening to this podcast, listen to any black podcast that talks about wrestling, but you motherfuckers need to listen up. Mm-hmm. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Read Moby Dick. I've read Moby Dick numerous times as a kid because they forced me to do it. I didn't go to a great public school, but they gave me that book to read. When somebody's chasing something or don't know how to stop something, it is fucking amazing. The sailor is trying to find Moby Dick. He can never find it, and it drives him crazy. Joker versus Batman, same thing. Batman can't kill Joker because Batman doesn't kill anybody. And Joker wants Batman to kill him. So you keep fucking with him over and over and over again. And that's the beauty part of The Fiend. He fucks with people, gets into their heads. Like, there's so many great things that can be done off of the mere fact that he used to be part of the Wyatt family. And they need to work that in for the little bit of time that they have left, because that whole, you said, The Fiend doesn't forget. Because Brian kicked the shit out of him.
Sure. Punted his spirit.
So you got to work that in, figure something out of how to do it. I mean, it's not going to happen because Survivor Series is like, when this show comes out, Survivor Series is going to be happening.
Yeah.
So within like a week or so. But I think this is going to be a great match. We'll see. But The Fiend obviously wins because it's The Fiend and we got to keep him strong. He made a whole new belt. So. A whole new belt.
Wow. It has to be The Fiend. It has to be The Fiend. There's no other choice. You're not going to put the belt back on Daniel Bryan after the controversy that we just had a month and a half ago at damn Hell in a Cell, and then just like Wilkins said, they do have to do a better build, but like also as he said, they didn't know what they were going to do with either of these guys.
Exactly.
I think I said this before. As it goes forward, we were talking about Roman Reigns. If we get, he's slowly being built back up to the top of the card.
We talked about that in pre-production that Angelo missed.
Pre-production, yeah.
Pre-production for sure.
They don't know about pre-production.
Nah,
Not
we
at
don't.
all.
Not at all. Zero.
They're unaware.
Yeah, I was late for that.
Unaware.
He was unaware.
I was-
Alan
I
Stone
was
has
late
a
for
song
that
called
meeting.
Unaware.
I was getting food because I'm hungry.
Effing you, Nick. Anyway.
I quit, okay? I'm done.
Nah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think they will keep. Oh, as I was saying, my point on Roman Reigns and The Fiend, that is going to be like Batman and Joker. I think that's what they're building to. The Fiend is going to go after everybody, like you said, who's done him wrong before when he was
The Eater of Worlds.
the Eater of Worlds.
The eater of pens.
Yeah, very true. Eater of Pen.
Eater of Pens. But, right.
I mean,
But,
he talked a big game and then he lost.
You did too.
Wow. We're cutting that. That's content right there. That's getting on social media.
Oh, you out? You out? Are you leaving?
Hansel's not going nowhere. Sit your ass down. Take your scarf off, MJF. with your infinity scarf.
He got a heated scarf.
I'm bougie. I'm not rich. So I can't get no, what he got, a Burberry scarf?
That shit is not Burberry.
That is,
Whatever.
That's just the Africans that you get.
That's Burberry.
That's just people from the Africans because he can't be wearing that Burberry all week. He was not making money in the Indies.
MLW wasn't giving that much money. Right?
That's from the Africans,
He was
bro.
making a strong.
On Flatbush Avenue.
He was
Yeah.
making a strong $60,000 a year in MLW, maybe.
I doubt that even. Maybe, but he probably made a decent amount because he probably do a lot of like booking shits and like random like meet and greets. His meet and greets are like $250 I'm hearing right now.
Yo.
Right, plus his parents might have had some money too. The way
He is from Long Island though.
Yeah, he is.
Every Haitian dreams to
Oh,
go
he's from New
there.
York.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
he's from Long Island.
Like,
Yeah, I'm about to say.
he's from New York State.
He's from Southeast Canada.
No, Long Island's not Southeast Canada.
Yes, it is. Anything that is not New York
Southeast
City
Canada.
is Southern Canada.
No, Long Island is like
Southeast Canada.
it's North Pennsylvania.
It's even better.
North Pennsylvania, northeast
Just like,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, it's like Staten Island is New Jersey.
Yes,
Yeah, facts.
literally.
It's pre-Jersey.
You know they're trying to emancipate themselves from New York.
They can go ahead.
They can go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We don't care.
It's
They're trying to make
Four
themselves
bor-
like
yo.
their own city.
As they should.
From the five
because
boroughs.
I'm not
Four
claiming.
boroughs are cool.
I'm not claiming a borough full of Trump supporters. Are you dumb?
The whole borough.
The whole borough can be thrown away.
It's
Devon
not-
just find somebody to live with.
And,
heard you.
and I have
Yeah.
good
Dreams
friends
to Long Island.
who live.
Oh yeah,
out in
that's the
Staten
come up.
Island.
So when
I have
Haitians
great
move
friends who
here,
live
they go
out
to
in Staten
Brooklyn
Island.
first, then they go to Queens, and like the last of like the like leveling up to Super Saiyan 3 type of level is you go to Long Island. My mom's doing a Super Saiyan 2.
That's mad
So we're in
funny.
Queens. We're on the borderline of like Rosedale, like the borderline of like Queens into
It
Long
is.
Island. But we ain't hit that level though. But like Gohan. Did Gohan hit Super Saiyan 3? Nah, right? I don't think he did. Yeah, we like Gohan.
The last time I watched an episode
Gohan
of any Dragon Ball,
disappointed me so much.
2002.
It's because
I ain't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Goku was a trash ass dad.
For sure.
Nigga was never around. They were trying to start beef with everybody else instead of being home, taking care of his damn kids.
My stepfather.
That sounds like some people I know. I ain't gonna say anything.
What's the next topic we talking
But no,
about?
hold on. We're going off because the best black dad on TV was Piccolo. Piccolo out here taking care of Goku's kid, Gohan,
My
everything.
stepfather was Piccolo.
Ready for the segue?
You know who's not taking care of their baby? Brock Lesnar. He's not taking care of his WWE championship, and that's the reason why he will be defending Survivor Series
Segway King, I see you.
against Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio is a good dad. In fact, he's a good.
Are you sure about that?
He's a good father. He's a good father. He's defending
Let
this.
his son get his ass whipped.
Yo, honestly,
Twice.
family. Dominic is a grown ass man. He's taller than Ray. He looked like he could pay some mortgage.
I don't know,
Like yo, Dominic looked like he paid somebody mortgage. I don't want to hear
I don't
nothing.
know. My father wouldn't let me get my ass kicked. Just in general.
Well, he came to defend him out. They had the chair, you hit him and shit.
Yeah.
You know, if Eddie was alive, would that still happen?
No.
Nah, because he would have been with Eddie.
Let me tell you something.
Eddie would have shot him.
Eddie's
Dominic
son.
looked at Brock and was like, "I don't want to smoke no more. I'm okay." He was like,
I don't want to hear nothing about no Dominic got to pay his dues. He took them big boy bumps from Triple B's.
Listen.
Oh, those are dudes. Those was his dudes.
Those were his dudes.
paid in full.
Listen, Dominic pulled the Joey Janela when he saw Enzo Amore.
That's mad. Oh no.
Nah, Dominic more gangster than
He was
either
like-
of them. Bro, you took bump from Brock Lesnar.
I know, but
And
I
then
just
Brock doesn't.
He don't
not the
protect
safest nigga.
people.
Yeah.
Like he just
I
throw
know.
him.
he was just literally just like he threw him out of the ring. I was like, yeah, see, no,
I can't do that.
absolutely not.
He threw him into a post.
See, this is why I'm gonna need to be disciplined when I go back there because I will really smack you. Like, do not play.
Well, you're
with me.
supposed to though.
But
Technically speaking,
let's get.
somebody stiffs you, sip them right back.
Oh yeah, no, I
Different
will
right
smack
back.
you.
But yeah, so WWE,
real life smack.
WWE title on the line. Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio.
Not a work slap. I will real life smack you.
Listen, I'm not talking about people slapping people.
I'm just saying.
Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. I have Rey Mysterio winning.
Oh,
I have Rey
Take my
winning.
nigga.
I have Rey winning.
that is a hot take.
It's very hot. It is.
He's sick. That's why.
It's a Buffalo take. I think that Rey's gonna win. I think that. Why would there Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez? Why would there be that match with the way that it ended if it wasn't gonna have a payoff of Rey Mysterio winning?
I get what you're saying.
Like you destroyed his son. You beat up the godfather of the son.
Is Cain really his godfather?
Huh?
Cain really his godfather?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You Mexicans stay together. I love it.
So I think that Rey's gonna win.
Okay, so
And I also think it's going to be a great match because Brock works really well with smaller opponents. Example, Daniel Bryan. Example, AJ Styles.
here's
And
the thing,
Seth.
right? That story is great. Makes so much sense. There's 3 letters that you're forgetting. WWE. This is WWE. Baby faces never win. Baby faces talk a big game and lose. Hello.
Not my president, Kofi Kingston.
That was different. The people got behind Kofi
My
Kingston.
man's lost in 9 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? And he lost in 9 seconds to Brock Lesnar. Do you really think that they're not going to have Brock Lesnar take this to WrestleMania again? This is WWE. This is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is not going to book the little baby face to beat Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is retaining that title. I don't know who he's going to fight at WrestleMania, but, you know.
All right.
That's for the world.
It's time to get to my booking head. Ray should win this. And I'm going to tell you how he should win this. Kofi comes in and gets involved. This makes no sense to many people,
That's juicy.
but it's extra juicy.
with 2 O's.
Juicy.
Juicy.
I think Ray should win because it makes perfect sense of what's going on. Ray should not win clean.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not. But Kofi should be involved in Ray winning, which leads to Kofi. It's something happening. But Brock is winning. Let's keep it a whole ass buck. Brock is winning this shit. It's gonna be a good match because you said he works well with smaller opponents. Brock is winning, keeping that title on him, fucking around, destroying shit. He's been on TV consistently lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jedi mind trick Vince got on him right now.
Brock is like.
It's called money.
I feel
That's
like
what the Jedi mind trick is.
I feel like Brock is acting like a deadbeat father of a kid who just became a famous rapper. Like things are going well now, so you know I'm a pop up again. I'm a pop out.
That Fox money.
That Fox money made niggas go stupid. So I'm
Also,
not
that
surprised.
crown jewel money.
That Saudi blood money.
Yeah, Saudi blood money was delicious. So much that like Vince extended their contract with him.
Yeah, he's tripping.
So, okay. So I explained this to Jordan a few weeks ago, right? The contract actually was not extended.
It wasn't?
No. So the contract was a 10-year deal from 2017. 2017 to 2027 is 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and then it was already a 2-show a year. Well, it was supposed to be like maybe 2 shows. Now it's the only thing that changed is it's definitely going to be 2 shows a year. But their contract is the same contract that they signed when they first started doing the Saudi shows.
They just re-announced it.
They just announced it because stock prices were dropping.
Juicy information.
Juicy.
So that means they're definitely doing 2 shows a year now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it went from maybe 2 shows to definitely 2 shows.
Yes.
So basically, they get an extra juicy checks. Most likely Brock Lesnar.
Probably late checks. Considering what
Juicy.
might have happened. at
Juicy.
They're probably gonna be late. Them Saudi checks probably.
Juicy.
Well, it's not checks. It's transfers into this nigga's bank account. Because it makes sense.
Juicy.
Because juicy ass checks are going into his bank account. They don't have checks.
Oh, I know.
It's all gold and it's all gold and cash.
I'm just being irritated. It might bounce.
But it's not a check though. They give them bags of cash.
Them bags of cash might bounce too.
It's an extra juicy ass show.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
All right, so to piggyback on what Wilkins said, the only way the way you book it would work is if Brock jumps back to SmackDown, because then he would have to fight Kofi.
Right.
For Kofi costing him the title. And then people will bitch and complain, well, how come Brock gets to jump shows? Blah, 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 blah.
At this point, you did the stupid draft, and then 3 weeks later, everybody's on every show. So
Well,
Not everybody.
Not everybody, no. Not everybody. It'd be only Brock would be the one jumping shows.
Because Brock can do what the fuck he want to do.
Right. But that would be the only way to do it. You'd have to be like, well, I'm Brock Lesnar. I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
He did that 2 weeks ago.
That's literally what
I quit SmackDown.
Well, keep it going.
That's
Gotta keep
literally
it
what
going.
Paul Heyman was like. Brock Lesnar gets special privileges because he's Brock Lesnar, and he chose to go to.
That means you would be building a match between him and Kofi, a regular match between him and Kofi at TLC. Or,
A
'cause that's
non-title?
A non-title. But I do, as much as I would want Rey Mysterio to win, because I think Rey Mysterio's contract is up in, his option is, excuse
My
me.
nigga going to Lucha Underground.
Does it still exist, man?
That's why I looked at you like what are you
what?
talking about? There's people fighting right now, fighting for their life to get out their contract.
Right. Shout out to Joey Ryan. About to get out his contract. But I think
All my life I had to fight.
these two, one singing Juicy, one speaking in Negro spirituals.
What? I think he might resign though, because I heard he went to. I heard he got some stem cells in his knees.
Joy?
No,
Ray?
Ray. Yeah, he got some stem cell stuff shit done, and he about to have another 10 years on his career.
No, but I don't think it's about the money for Ray. Ray's made tons of money.
He just wants to go where he can be used properly.
Right.
Where's he gonna go? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Where's he gonna go?
Exactly.
Because I love when people are like, yo, they gotta make this jump to where? Where?
We saying that now, but in about a year's time, welcome the newest member of the Ring of Honor roster, the Mysterio that is the younger of Ray. Because you know they rename people. So
They're not gonna rename.
exists
They're
in
not
the
gonna
UK
rename
now?
Ray though. Ray owns his name.
yeah,
Ray's
very
gonna put
true.
his dick on his head. Was like, who you renaming, nigga? Better shut the fuck up.
Now this whole show name is not Ring on. It's
But
called
we're
Ray
forgetting
now.
the point that Ring of Honor probably won't even exist in a year's time.
Oof, that's spicy.
That's a fact. Because they be they're
They be
inhumane.
fucking up.
They looking like damn TNA right now.
Ring of Honor. All that Ring of Honor is TNA without the grace of God. That's all that it is. Period.
TNA must have the hotline
To heaven.
straight to the Lord's phone, like straight to the Lord's iPhone, because you know God got an iPhone.
If the executive board of Impact Wrestling is
God
not
does not have an
saved,
iPhone.
God has an iPhone.
God does not have an iPhone.
if the board of directors of Impact Wrestling are not saved, they are 100% going to hell, and I 100% agree with God's decision and morale on that, because there's no way in hell that I'm going to save you that many times and you don't believe in me. That's a whole
But
different
here's the
subject.
thing. They just said God don't have an iPhone. God has an iPhone.
God definitely has an iPhone.
God definitely has a Samsung.
No, he has a servant named Sam that songs, but he don't got no Samsung.
God has an iPhone.
God has an
Like
iPhone.
Steve Jobs was up there building him iPhones.
Exactly.
You think Steve?
In the same black turtleneck that was introduced to all them. But anyway, let's get back into the subject. Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
You said Ray Mysterio.
Yo, Steve Jobs in heaven making iPhones, and the guy's breaking them because he's like, this is bullshit. These shits don't work because every time of year, my shit keep breaking down. What's going on, Steve?
how come every time there's an update, it takes up all the space on my phone, Steve?
First of all, that's not Steve.
Don't say Steve after he says everything, okay?
Something you all right?
You know God is petty. He's definitely saying Steve after he says
All I'm
everything.
saying is the only Samsung that God has is a servant named Sam who sung, or Samson who now can sing because he lost his dreads in the Old Testament. So now he has a new ability.
Because of a woman.
Because of Delilah.
Bitch.
Oh my God.
Fucking Delilah. Was she a white girl too?
Most likely. That sounds like some white woman shit.
Because Samson was black.
Sam,
Was a big old black dude.
With Jay, if he had dreads, he had to be a black
He
man.
was out here doing black raw.
How do we get into this?
Anyway, God has an
you guys listen
iPhone.
to
End of
Toxic
discussion.
I'm about to after this. But
about to
listen to Toxic Talk after this. But so Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, who do you have?
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, who do you have?
Ray.
Ray. All right, cool. So now that we've gone through the card, what do you think the match of the night is going to be? I think we're going to end the show with that. What do you think the match of the night is going to be? Starting with Dre.
The mid-card match, the Styles, Nakamura, and Strong match. That has to be match of the night. Yeah, please do.
You know,
Right. I think the Styles, Nakamura, and Strong match has to be the match of the night. They're so evenly matched. I keep burping. What's going on?
Acidic release.
Yeah.
Nigga, you sound educated.
Right. I was like, okay,
He is
scientist.
educated.
Keep going.
All right, health education.
Right.
Acidic release. My stomach's been hurting for like the past week. You know anything for that?
I don't know.
There's tons of books. Remember, they got a library on the 5th floor of the apartment.
But not the 5th floor. Get the hell.
He got mad.
Oh my god.
So hold up. I know we're doing the podcast, but I'm gonna blow you up real quick. So I found a book here, and I was like, "This is a great book." And his mom is very nice. Shout out to your mom. She's a very sweet lady. She's like, "You can take it, whatever. We have plenty of books upstairs." I was like, "Upstairs? Wait, time out. Is it upstairs in here?" So then she's like, "Yeah, it's right behind you. The staircase is right there. They have a spiral staircase." What? You have a spiral staircase? What is it? Neverland? Like, what the fuck is that? Well, yeah, but we can keep going. But shout out to your mom for letting me borrow this book.
Yes, match of the night. Styles, Nakamura, and Strong for sure.
I'm gonna second that. The AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Roderick Strong match is gonna be the match of the night.
For me, it's honestly between this and the women. I love women's wrestling, so I'm gonna say the women because the three of them in this ring is probably gonna be a sleeper match, but I'm gonna say the mid-card champions as well.
Damn it. You suck, Angelo.
What I do?
Because you didn't go with the women's. I'm going with the women's.
Oh.
I think it's going to be the best match of the night because it's going to be slept on. It's going to surprise a lot of people. It gives me the vibe of like, remember when the women did that TakeOver match? When it put them on the map?
Yeah.
And the TakeOver Brooklyn? When it was like, holy fucking, what's going on here?
My favorite match of all time.
And I think it's going to be that type of match. Where you're going to be like, oh, let me not go to the bathroom. That type of feel.
I think if anything, they're probably gonna go to the bathroom during the one of the Survivor Series elimination matches. They'll probably be like, okay, cool, yeah. Or if they do a cruiserweight title match. Oh well, no, it's an NXT title now, right? Isn't
NXT,
it?
yeah, NXT
Okay, never
Cruiserweight
mind.
Championship. I came to collect.
Are you enjoying yourself right now?
I am.
Okay. It is.
I'm done now.
Are you done?
I'm done now.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
okay. All
All right, I'm done now.
My man.
right. Are you done now?
Can we talk about the card as a whole? I think Corey Graves said this on his podcast, and after the bell, which is really good actually. There's too many titles, way too many titles.
I agree.
I don't know if you guys remember, there was a Taboo Tuesday where all of the belts, well, I believe all of the world titles were up for grabs in one match. And for whatever reason, they chose one to be on the line, and the other ones weren't. And the one, I think it was Booker. Who else? Booker, Cena, and Lashley. Yes.
CW title.
Yeah. The Booker's was on the line, and Booker won. I think Survivor Series kind of lost the interest because it used to be just for Survivor Series. Now it's every week we got a 6-man tag, 8-man tag, 10-man tag,
12-man tag.
12-man tag.
Soon it's gonna be like 16 people just all around the ring.
Yeah, there's waiting.
So this is a lumberjack match.
Yeah.
No, it's a tag match. It's a
It's a
tag match.
lumberjack tag team match. Could you imagine?
A lumberjack
Like,
tag team.
match featuring Extreme Rules.
Oh my god.
What type of
Starring ladders.
TNA shit is that?
That's literally a TNA match.
That's literally
like their stupid reverse battle royal. Hey, everybody has to fight outside of the ring to get into the ring. And then when you get in the ring, you have to dump people out of the ring.
Oh no, you mean like the reverse ladder match, the King of the Mountain match?
Yeah. Good old Jeff Jarrett.
Let me explain
I
something.
actually like the King of the Mountain match. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like that one too. But the reverse battle royal is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any
Yo,
sense.
the production crew must have been like
What the
pissed.
fuck is this?
All
But
the shaky kid. Ugh, I can't. can't.
But I do think like they do have too many titles, so I think Survivor Series should be the time of year where all these you consolidate the titles. One of these Survivor Series should be consolidated. The only reason why I see why they can't do that is because, especially for NXT, even though it's looked at as a third brand, realistically people still see it as what's it called? As a developmental. You need belts on developmental.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to change now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why Johnny has been. I'm sorry. My boy Johnny Gargano has been very adamant about staying in NXT, and
I don't want him to though.
I do.
he needs to. He'll get lost in the
I just want Johnny SmackDown.
That's cool. He can smack down his ass.
No, Johnny SmackDown.
You know what?
Johnny Raw sounds better, and it sounds crazier, but it sounds better.
Yeah, that sounds like
You know what it is about NXT a lot of times, and a lot of people don't want to like talk about it. They're such small guys,
Yeah.
so it looks so weird on the main roster sometimes. Where it's like, who the fuck are these? My next door neighbor. Like, you know what I mean? And it's
These guys are like my height, my size.
yeah,
Like,
and
like,
the industry's changing, and that's what it is because they are the future of the industry. Because if you watch fucking AEW, which is like a prime example of the current landscape of like wrestling, guys are regular size.
Yeah.
the biggest dude on the card is Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus, and he's just tall.
And the Uno dude, the Uno dude from the Dark Order. The dude with the mask. Yeah.
Him, and if you look at like Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, they're just taller. They're taller.
Yeah, they trimmed that. They trimmed the weight off.
Yeah, they had to.
How tall are they?
Like about 6 feet, 6'1".
Okay.
That's my height.
They all look like they're my height to me.
No, they look like they were your height when you took the picture with them.
They're like a little bit taller than me. Like about
Jordan's height.
Yeah, Jordan's height. So that's what it is. Where I don't think they move those dudes because it looks weird. Like it looks really weird, and they're really trying to change it. I think Survivor Series is very important for them to establish themselves as a third brand, not being developmental. Because this is like put my dick on the table, let them know this is big and delicious.
Wow.
I feel like that's a.
Put the dick through the table. Dudley style.
You know what? And that's how we're gonna end the show. That's how we're gonna end the show because I cannot take another
Don't act like you're not one of them, though.
beef reference.
See, I'm a saint. I don't do anything.
Shut if you don't. Shut up. You was tuning up at.
I was not. I went to sleep at 5 in the morning. I was up until 5 in the morning.
Tooting and booting.
I wasn't doing none of that.
All right.
I told y'all what I was doing.
I
Oh my God. Listen, if there's any Rick that I would be pulling at 5 in the morning, it would be Ric Flair.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So we end the show, right?
And that's how we end the show. So, guys, thank you so much for watching our WWE Survivor Series special. We want to give a big shout out to the Jobbeteers podcast. Drop your handles, guys. Tell the people where they can follow you.
You can
At the real Keith Lee.
Oh, nah. Oh, basket is glory.
You can follow. Yo, I hate you. You follow me at _bask in my glory.
So Keith Lee.
Basically.
Basically, that's my brother. Shout out to Keith Lee.
Go ahead, Yusuf.
Also, you can follow my basketball podcast, the Four Quarters podcast.
If you watch sports.
If you watch sports, if you're a regular human being and you watch sports, unlike Angelo Carter over here. But
Sports entertainment.
Long
Right.
that's for you.
It's a great show.
right, and by the time you hear this, make sure. No, actually, I'll let Wilkins do that.
My name is Sir Wilkins. Once again, you can find me on SIR_Wilkins. So let me spell that out for you. SIR_WILKINS. Sir Wilkins on Instagram, Twitter, all the other shit. I can get a little reckless online. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Please follow the Jobbeteers podcast on all forms of social media.
Yes.
They famous. OD famous.
No, we're not.
not.
Come to our. If you are in New York City, please come to our Survivor Series viewing party.
Yes.
We will be there. It's at Legends Bar, 6 West 33rd Street, between 5th and 6th Avenue.
We all gonna be there.
Yeah. So it's a dope vibe. It's like the Wakanda for wrestling fans.
Yes.
And If you're not black and you want to visit, you can still visit the Wakanda wrestling fans.
We're for everybody.
We're for everybody.
You just have a visitor's pass.
Yeah. You can eat fruits and berries with us and watch wrestling.
Track down some antelope and stuff. But also during the Survivor, we're doing Takeover as well, right?
You were doing Takeover as well the night before.
The night before, but by the time it was already done. So
yeah.
Takeover party was lit.
Yeah.
It was fire.
It was fire.
We had so much fun.
Keeping kayfabe alive, y'all.
Party since I was busy, but
on the Survivor Series party, make sure you bring your championship's belts. We're trying to be dripping in gold that night.
I'm gonna be Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear my robe.
Do that.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
Also, if you're interested in like random shit talking, listen to the Toxic Talk podcast.
Yep.
Also, we have a new podcast called Cats and Dogs that just premiered. Also, listen to like past episode of The Big Four, which is a all-female women of color podcast for Hispanics and Blacks talking about wrestling. Mm-hmm. So check it out. On the Jobbeteers Network.
Oh, Battle Club on the 4th.
Oh yeah, January 4th, we have the announcement of the century for the Jobbeteers podcast at Battle Club Pro, January 4th in New Jersey. So make sure you either,
That's the only thing I will ever go to Jersey for.
Yeah. So come on out, and guys, thank you for having us on the show.
Yes, definitely.
We appreciate it
for having us.
Of course.
Really quick shout out to my girls, Those Wrestling Girls. Please make sure you follow them at T Wrestling Girls on Twitter.
They're amazing.
They're so awesome. Follow them on Instagram at Those Wrestling Girls. Do all that. Do all that stuff.
And we want to give a shout out to the other half of the Jobbeteers podcast, Mr. Black, Tooted Up Nelly. Tooted Up Nelly is currently in Chicago, tooting it up.
Should be home. Should be landing.
If you want to watch the episode that we did with them, it was the SummerSlam. It was the season finale of season 1. It was jokes, just like this episode was jokes. Mm-hmm. When are we going to be in Jobbeteer Studios?
When are you guys free on a Thursday? Thursday night, we usually record. Yeah. Unless you guys want to call in.
Yeah, you guys can always call in.
Bet I'm gonna do that.
What are you guys doing next Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
I don't think I'm doing anything next Wednesday.
It's Wednesday night.
Ooh, let me check my.
I don't think I'm doing anything next Wednesday.
Kayfabe, guys. Kayfabe.
We're breaking kayfabe, but.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. But I think
WWE doesn't care about kayfabe.
Yo, that's mad.
So
funny.
we shouldn't either. No,
we'll talk off camera.
Yeah.
But yo, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in next week, and we'll see you guys later.